Hello.
Hello, here I am as promised. Today we're going to be talking about the world and the true believers' dynamics that they should have with the world. We're going to format the video in a way with 3 different sections. Each section we're going to give a handful of verses and then our personal testimony / experience that we've had with that topic. If that didn't make sense, you'll just see. We just want this video to be an encouragement because it is an important topic. We're called to be set apart from the world, and bad things happen when we're not. And it does not bring a good name to Christ when we are of the world, yet profess to be, a Christian. So we just want this video to be an encouragement.
Yeah.
Hopefully it finds you that way.
Yeah, for sure. So with that said, I'm just going to give you the 4 different definitions of the world. When the Bible uses the word the world, it can be referring to these 4 different things. The first one is the physical world, so like the earth. The second one is all the people on earth. So when it says, "For God so loved the world," in John 3:16, it's referring to all people. But the 2 that we are going to be focusing on are the non-believers and the satanic world system, Satan's world system. The Bible says Satan is the god of this world. And so what that includes is, music, media, government, politics, education system, drinking, partying, and all the other sinful ways of people. So those are the 2 that we're going to be focusing on: non-believers and Satan's world system. So I'm first going to share 4 verses with you guys where God is clearly commanding believers to come out of the world. So 1 John 2:15 says, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him." Romans 12:2 says, "Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." 2 Corinthians 6:14 and verse 17 says, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate." And then the last one is James 4:4. "Friendship of the world is enmity with God." So it's pretty obvious. All these verses are telling us to come out of the world. So just our personal experience with that. Is there anything specific you want to share?
Yeah, this was, it kind of even started before we got saved. I think a large part of our testimony was learning about the satanic world system, and naturally, we didn't really want to be a part of any of that.
Sure.
So a lot of our coming out of the world happened beforehand, but once we got saved and started seeing the world through a biblical lens, and now all of a sudden it's important and beneficial to be out of the world. It just really, I don't know, if we were holding on to anything, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Once we got saved,
Yeah.
and we see, wow, the world, the satanic world system, it's in the Bible. It is like an entity, in a way.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, just helped us detach from it, for sure.
Yeah, I'd say it was pretty easy for us to come out of the world as well. I mean, we had each other as well, and that might have made it a little easier. And we're going to talk about the importance of fellowship a little bit later, but maybe that's why it was easy for us to be set apart pretty early in our walk.
Yeah.
Even starting before.
I think what made it easier for us as well is knowing about all of this stuff. Because if you don't know necessarily that something is worldly or of this world or even satanic,
Sure.
you're going to have no no reason to even think about leaving it behind.
Yeah.
But when you see the truth or the agendas behind everything that's out there, it only makes sense, to pull away from it. It makes it that much. You can't really pull away if you don't know that you should.
Yeah, a good example of this that could maybe make it easier to understand for those of you that have no idea what we're talking about, like studying Hollywood music, for example. Like, a lot of people may listen to a song and not hear anything wrong with it. Maybe there's no profanity or anything like that, but because we really studied Hollywood and what Hollywood is really about, it's pretty easy for us to write off all music that comes out of Hollywood. So.
Yeah. You find out there's subliminal messages that you're just getting hit with. Music's been like turned into a weapon basically to cast spells on you, make you think certain ways. They play things in reverse, just all sorts of things. You find out, and it's like it's all music across the board.
Yeah.
So that's one good example.
Yeah. So our next verses, I'll have Derek read them. They're about the world hating true believers.
Section 2. We have John 3:19 and 20. Light has come into the world, but men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. And we have John 15, verse 19. If ye were of the world would love his own, but because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. 1 John 3:13. Marvel not, my brethren, if the world hateth you. And 1 John 4, verses 5 and 6. They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. We are of God. He that knoweth God heareth us. He that is not of God heareth not us.
Yeah, this is sort of an interesting one for our personal testimony, because the world hated us pretty quickly.
And still does for the most part. We started, I think I can speak for both of us, we started losing both friends and family members for sharing the truth with them is what it was. Whether we were trying to wake them up to some of the satanic world system, or whether we were just sharing the gospel with them, the gospel truth, or any other biblical truth for that matter. It was never received well, and the world hates us.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah.
And
hates true believers, and that's what I wanted to emphasize, true believers, because this isn't to say the world hates everyone who professes Christ. That's not the case. The world only hates true born-again believers. So, yeah. I mean, they nailed him to a cross, so it's to be expected for us as well.
Yep. And this is this section right here, the world hating true believers. I think this is probably the number one thing that keeps most true Christians wanting to stay in the world, is for their fear of losing friends, the fear of losing family, the fear of not being liked and accepted by everyone. There's something inside of us that just wants to be liked and accepted by everyone. And when you identify yourself as a true Bible-believing Christian, and then you talk about it, share it, you're gonna lose friends and family, and people don't want to do that. So this, if I could be an encouragement to you, this is where it would be, is really, don't care about what friends and family think. We're not here to impress men, make men happy. We're here to carry out the will of God and please God.
Yeah.
So if you're a born-again believer, I think you could agree that pleasing God is more important than pleasing men. So I challenge you to just align your actions and your speech with your morals or your views. easier said than done, but I know you can do it. And pray for strength.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing more important.
So with that being said, that kind of is a good segue into our next one. This is our next section, what we ought to do instead of being conformed to this world. So what does the Bible call for us as believers? And there's just a few verses here.
Yeah, I'll read them.
Yeah.
So Colossians 3:2. Set your affections on things above, not on things of the earth. John 18:36. Jesus says, my kingdom is not of this world. Philippians 3:20. Our citizenship is in heaven.
So all of these sort of have to do with understanding that we're not of this world, but rather we should be focusing on the things of God's kingdom. That's really what all these three verses are sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you do successfully separate yourself from this world, you're going to have a lot of gaps, a lot of empty space, if you will, in your life, because you could still be entirely in the world, worldly mindset, and when you start removing these things, you need to fill it with heavenly things.
Yeah.
And so that includes things like reading your Bible,
Yeah.
things like sharing the gospel, fellowship with other believers. That one is very important.
Yeah.
Because like we mentioned earlier, your friends, your worldly friends, they're not going to want to hang out with you just as much as you're probably not going to want to hang out with them as much anymore. When you see what they enjoy, what they want to talk about, that's our experience anyways. We feel differently about all that stuff now. And so fellowship with believers it goes so far.
Yeah.
Like getting plugged into a church and just talking to other believers. It is your new family, and it's your real family, the family that loves you and understands you, and a family that you have the most important thing in common with.
Yeah, it's important to try to find real Bible believing Christians that are also focused on things above as well, because there's also a lot of Christians that are unfortunately still part of this world. So I know it's a little easier said than done, but if you ask God for help and really put in the effort yourself, you can find some Bible believing Christians around you. It's really important. And that it's just going to edify you and help you grow your spiritual nature as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much all we had.
Yeah, just to sum it up, we are, we didn't want this to be suggesting to you that you should isolate yourself. Nothing like that. You're in the world, but you're not of the world, if that makes sense. So, we're also called to go share the gospel, with everyone. So you can't do that unless you're in the world. So yeah, don't just isolate yourself. I think, for me, that might be something that I could easily see myself getting sucked into, maybe isolation, because I really hate this world,
Yeah. I've had friends, and I know you have too, say, you're so narrow-minded, all you're doing is isolating yourself.
Yeah.
And then they call you a Bible thumper or a Jesus freak, and some of those, pretty much all of those, can be taken as compliments. Granted, they're wrong when they say we're isolating ourselves. All they're doing is saying, I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore, is what they're really trying to say. Or they want to make you feel bad, feel like you're doing the work of Satan, basically, when they're doing the devil's job by trying to get you to stop doing what you're doing by saying you're isolating yourself. I don't know if that made sense, but
I don't know if I follow that.
people are they're gonna say that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, the more it happens, the less and less it'll really bring you down.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me anymore. Like,
I mean, it never feels nice to like have someone else, fall
yeah,
off. But
sure, especially when it's your friends and family. But like, pretty much all my friends and family have already let me know how they feel or completely blocked me from their life. So at this point, there's really not much more for, I don't know.
yeah. So for the sake of trying to keep this video as short as possible, we'll end it here.
Yeah.
As always, we can talk about any of this if you guys have questions, concerns, comments. Leave them down below. We could have a Skype call with anyone if you'd rather like talk than text or chat. Like
Yeah.
we're here.
Yeah.
We're here. Want to be here for anyone and everyone. So.
And it could even help you find like a Bible-believing church around you. Like, we're just here for you. So if you need fellowship or advice, whatever it is, just let us know in the comments and we could figure out a way to connect. So.
Yeah, and if you're still here, I'm just going to let you know we're in Phoenix for the winter for the most part.
Yeah.
And if you're around the area and want to hang out, have some fellowship,
Yeah.
we're down.
Yeah, definitely.
We enjoy that kind of stuff. So.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
And God bless.
God bless. Bye-bye.